Yep. Yeah, buddy. Hey, man. We back. We live. Shout out to everybody. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are live, man. We are live. Let me get it right. Let me get it right. Yes, indeed. Man. Excuse me one time. All right, man. What's going on, you guys? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Winner's Diet Show. I am your host, Project Mac, aka Mac Solomon. Man, we are in here. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Uh Feels like I haven't been here in a while for some reason. I don't know why, but we here though, man. We here. Nonetheless, I hope you guys are getting used to my new cut, man. I'm getting used to it. I like it a lot. Um Still got my full hairline at 31, that's which is a blessing in itself. But yeah, man. For now, you know. But yeah, we here, man. We're here. Um, it's been a great week so far. It's been cold, but we've been here. I've been kind of tired, just fatigued. As far as just just pushing through the week, man. But either way, man, we here. Um, the views are going up on our YouTube, which is great. I checked the numbers on our last live. We had like, let me check right now. Actually, I think we had like 80 views. That might be our highest one when it comes to our live stream um that we had so far. So yeah, we had 80 views on the landscape view, and then we had 73 views on the vertical view. So yeah, man, totaling about 150 views. So we're definitely getting up there in the views. Shout out to the algorithm pushing us up there. Shout out to everybody tapping in, of course. Um, but we just got to keep working, man. We just got to keep working. We got to keep putting out content. Shout out to everybody tapping in. Shout out to Lopez Family 109. What's going on? What's going on? We appreciate you tapping in. Shout out to everybody pulling in right now. You guys are just now getting in. Shout out to you guys. Welcome to the Winner's Diet Show. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. If you guys have any fitness questions, fitness concerns, please put it in the chat. Um, while you guys are doing that, you can get my free 7-day fat loss guide. All right. All you got to do is go to winnersdietclub.com and get that. If you guys are looking to build muscle, lose body fat, I have a free 7-day guide that is built exactly for that. It shows you how from step A to step Z. Hey, man, you have a great rest of your night. All right. Have a great rest of your night. Have a great rest of your week. We appreciate you for tapping in, of course. All right. Either way, man. All right. We are in here. Shout out to everybody pulling in. I know you guys are probably getting off work or just getting out of bed. Either way, shout out to you guys for tuning in the show, man. We got a good show lined up for you guys today. Today, man, we're talking about how fitness intimidates people. But before that, we got to break down our normal show structure. We got our first segment, the Fit Report. We are reporting on fitness news, things happening in the fitness industry, as you guys know. And then we have our second segment, What the Fitness, reacting to viral, trendy videos, just giving my input on that and my reaction. All right. And then, of course, man, we have the main event, the main topic of the day, fitness, how fitness intimidates people, or I guess why intimidates people. So we will be breaking that down towards the end of the show. So make sure you guys stick around towards the 45 to 50-minute mark. And yes, I'm drinking out of a plastic fucking bottle. Sue me. Oh, what about microplastics? Sue me, man. Anyway, let's get to it, man. Let's get to today's show. Shout out to everybody tapping in. Without further ado, man, I think we can go straight into it. All right. So let's get into the first article of the Fit Report. Here we have. So for you guys that are getting older and you guys are now getting into your fitness routine, this article right here breaks down the age when muscles start to fade has been revealed. All right, so here we go. Muscles start to shrink at 36, scientists say. From this age, people begin losing 3 to 5% of their muscle mass every decade. And the older you get, the faster the loss. Researchers from the Russian Academy of Sciences report. At first, the changes are barely noticeable, but over time, excuse me, they can lead to sarcopenia, which is basically muscle loss as you get older. Um, so there it is. 36 is the age where most people lose their muscle. All right. So at age 36 is when you start to see muscles start to fade. That's when muscle loss at that age starts to speed up. And Of course, if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not on a consistent workout routine, if you're not prioritizing protein, this could lead to sarcopenia, which is age related muscle loss. So I'm always going to push, I'm always going to stress you guys, man. You have to have a routine, especially as you get older. Okay. Especially as you get older. Excuse me. Some of you guys right now that are just getting back in the gym or getting in the gym, whether it be for the New Year's or just, this is a new um, goal you have for your life. It's very important that you get on a program, man, that is advantageous to you and your body type. Okay. Do not just go getting any random workout off the off the street, please. Okay. Some of you guys would just go on Google, hey, give me a workout because it's free, or use Chat GPT. No, man, you have to get with somebody that knows your body type, knows your schedule, knows what workout fits you best, assess you properly, see what imbalances you have. These are all things that are very important. But most people think they can just go into a new workout plan without having these things taken care of and just jump right into it. This is how injuries happen. This is how people burn out quickly, right? And that's going to turn you off from being in this long term. So the older you get, obviously the older you get, the harder it is to maintain that routine, the harder it is to even get in a routine, because you got so much responsibilities happening. You have so many things. You might have kids, you might have a wife, you might be working full time, 10, 12-hour shifts. Kids got soccer practice, there's a lot of things that could play a role in most people not having the time or the energy to be on a workout routine. So it's very important, man. As you get older, you guys are heading towards 33, 34, 35, man. Having a solid workout plan, um, knowing what you're doing as far as food, diet, nutrition goes. These things play a big role long term. You don't want to be that person in your 40s that is having issues with their health, and you know you fall down and now you broke a hip. Like that's just that's what you want to avoid as you get older, right? Especially as you get older, past your 40s into your 50s, when you start hitting that elderly status. The reason why a lot of these people, when they fall down and they break something, is because they never had a strong foundation. Like their foundation was never built off of strength, because they never had a solid workout routine ever in their life. If they had been consistently working out throughout their 20s, 30s, 40s, really, you don't even have to start that young for real. You don't have to start that like that young. Like all you got to really do, man, is be consistent. That's really the main thing here. Like if you be consistent, if you didn't work out in your 20s, it doesn't matter. If you didn't work out in your 30s, it doesn't matter. But if you start in your 40s and you're consistent for a year, 2 years, and so on and so forth, I mean, you can make that work, you know? So when if something happens, you fall down, whatever, something happens, you're not gonna break your hip, you're not gonna tear your ACL. Like some of these stories I hear with elderly people that fall, and now they're in the hospital bed for weeks, months on end. Like it's crazy to me. So you don't want to be that person, man, because you didn't prioritize having a healthy workout plan when you were younger or when you should have. So just keep that in mind, man. All right, let's move on to the next article. Shout out to everybody in here. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Yes, indeed. Let's move on to the second article here. What do we have? Okay, here we go. Crumble Cookie confirms rumors that it's testing new donut releases. All right. Crumble Cookies has officially confirmed that it's experimenting with donuts following weeks of online speculation and viral mock-ups suggesting the cookie giant could be branching out beyond its signature weekly cookie menu. A company spokesperson acknowledged that the donuts are currently being tested internally as part of Crumble's ongoing product innovation efforts, marking the first time the brand has publicly addressed the rumors. That said, Crumble made it clear this is still very early stage testing. There is no confirmed launch date, no announced store rollout, and no indication that donuts will appear on the menu anytime soon. Any potential release would depend on test results, customer feedback, and operational feasibility, a major factor for a brand known for tightly controlled, rotating weekly offerings. For now, cookies remain Crumble's core focus, but the confirmation alone signals that the brand is at least open to expanding its dessert lineup in the future. If donuts ever do make it to stores, it would represent one of the biggest shifts in Crumble's history and a major moment in the fast casual dessert space. Interesting. Interesting. Hey, but Crumble right now is in a very weird place. I think the jig is up with them. Um, People now are waking up towards just how crazy and unhealthy their product is. I don't know if you guys have ever had a crumble cookie, but the ingredients in just one cookie is insane. And this is coming from someone that used to eat crumble cookie a lot. I used to love crumble cookie back in the day, like 2, 3 years ago. You know, I would eat it, not all the time, but sparingly, right? Because it was just so bad for you. You look at one cookie, it will be at least 700, 800 calories in one cookie. Now, if you're going towards like a special cookie, like if they were to put like a certain type of flavor on it, like a cookie dough with the frosting on top, or a birthday cake, or some crazy dessert type of cookie, man, you can bet that thing will be 900 to 1,000 calories in one cookie, man. 100 grams of carbs, 100 grams of sugar. It was insane. Insane. Not to mention the amount of different ingredients that were in the cookie. Um, and people they've been calling this out. They've been speaking out against Crumble Cookie, man, and they just it's damn near a diabetes. It's a diabetes cookie, man. Really. So yeah, I think now they're trying to go a different approach. I know they were doing like cakes at one point too. Like they had went from cookies to like cakes, like mini cakes. They were doing that for a while. So now I guess they're rebranding now to donuts. Which I think is smarter, but again, uh it doesn't really help if the donut is again packed with crazy ingredients. It has um questionable amount of sugar and carbohydrates, and you know, like they got to do a whole 360 with the product. Like they have to make it a different way, but I don't know. That's their brand, you know. So I don't know how well they can pull that off. Um, so it's going to be very interesting to see what they do. You know, I thought they were, to me personally, I thought they were going to sell the company. I thought the company was going bankrupt and they were going to sell, but I guess not. I guess they're still trying to fight for it and you know, rebrand. But I think at this point, man, the damage is done. There's really not much they can do at this point. Um, I would try to sell the company if I was them at this point because their PR right now is horrible. So it's just bad, man. But shout out to Crumble, you know, got me through some good nights. All right, man. Let's move on towards the next article here. What we got? What we got? All right, so I tell you guys, man, Toronto, I mean not Toronto, but the fitness industry is taking over when it comes to um you know, nightlife and just people are replacing wellness and you know fitness for nightlife now, and you're seeing this a lot with the younger Gen Z crowd. So this article says Toronto is getting an alcohol-free nightlife lounge with saunas, cold plunges, and mocktails. Toronto is getting a new nightlife alternative, and it doesn't involve alcohol, loud music, or packed dance floors. NRG House, a wellness lounge focused on sobriety and social connection, is set to open in early February at Liberty Village. The space combines sauna sessions and cold plunges with a non alcoholic mocktail bar, offering what it calls a contrast therapy social experience. Guests will have access to multiple cold plunge tubs, guided meditation visuals, a sauna, and a lounge designed for conversation and recovery. The concept was created by Toronto entrepreneur Ivan Ho after his own journey into sobriety highlighted a lack of alcohol free social spaces in the city. NRG House aims to attract people participating in dry January and anyone looking for a calmer, wellness first way to socialize. An official opening date is expected to be announced soon. So let's check out what they got going on here. So this is the sauna. I'm assuming that's a nice looking sauna. That's a nice looking sauna. So yeah, man. Um, don't be surprised if you start to see more of these coming around, especially in the United States. I'm pretty sure they're already doing it. Because if you look at some of these gyms in the US now, like places like LA, New York, Miami, they're building just straight um speakeasies, but for like wellness. So there's no alcohol. It's all like mocktails, energy drinks, you know, non-alcoholic beverages. You got the pool side, you know, it's like you have cabanas, you know, obviously you have the gym itself, but then you have the sauna, the cafes, this is where the fitness game is going, man. So a lot of these I don't know. I think bars are gonna always serve its purpose. Like bars are never gonna go out of business. So like this whole notion that, oh well, the wellness game is gonna take over nightlife. No, it's not. I feel like there's gonna be a lane for everybody. Nightlife is not going nowhere. It doesn't matter how many types of wellness lounges pop up. Night people are always gonna go to nightlife because there's always gonna be a purpose for people in nightlife. You know, long days at work, getting a divorce, breakup, you know, hate their boss, you know, just unhappy. Like nightlife is always gonna have a purpose. When I was doing security, when I was doing security at a bar, bro, I would see the same people at the bar all the time, just regulars going in there, ordering their drinks, sitting at the bar, sitting at a table, and that would just be their routine. That would just be their routine because you never know what somebody's going through, man. So there's just certain things like people deal with certain things in different ways. So, you know, the gym, unfortunately, is not always going to be a solution to people. It's not always going to solve their problem. So, um, you can put in 100 types of wellness lounges in the city. It doesn't matter. Nightlife is always going to serve its purpose to its customers. They're always going to have a core niche audience that is never going to change. So, but I mean, that looks great. That's a great replacement for people that are dealing with sobriety. I know a bunch of people that would benefit from that. You know, me, I haven't had alcohol in over a year. I haven't had a taste of alcohol in about a year now. So I'm about a year just sober off of alcohol. And to be honest with you, man, it's one of those things where I don't really need it. You know, I don't really need it. I used to want it a lot, but now I'm at a point where, bro, that shit is just like, okay, if it's around, I'm not saying I would never drink it again, but you know, I'm at a point now where I'm just like, bro, I really don't need that shit. You know, like it's cool. Yeah. If we're in a social setting, the vibes are good. Yeah, cool. I might get a drink, but I really don't need it. For being honest, I really don't need that shit. So I can do without alcohol at this point in my life. Like I said, I might return to it at some point, but right now, I just don't. It's not part of my life, and I'm cool with that. You know, I'm cool with that. Like I don't really see a need for it. Like at this point, it serves no purpose in my life right now. Like it does nothing for me. In fact, in fact, it's actually a detriment right now. If I were to drink alcohol, if I were to start consistently drinking alcohol at this point in my life, it would actually be a detriment to my life because I haven't had it in over a year. I've gotten a lot done. I've been focused. I've been alert. I wake up great, no hangovers, right? So at this point, if I just reverse that and start drinking again, to me that's going backwards. That's taking a step back, you know? And I can't really be at the top of my game, waking up hungover, waking up regretting my decision. So um yeah, man, look, I think everybody's going to do what I think everybody needs to do what works best for them. And right now, me getting into alcohol uh just doesn't make any sense, you know. But shout out to all the lounges that's popping up. I love the direction that the fitness industry is going in when it comes to these wellness lounges, and kind of just giving people a different option. You don't have to go to the bar, every single weekend and black out, man. You can go hit this sauna, you know. You can go to this gym. You can go lay out by the pool, man, and network. Like there's different alternatives that you can do. It doesn't have to just be one thing anymore. So I think that's what people need, man. Sometimes variety is the missing piece that you need. A lot of times we're just so focused on one thing. Like I always do this one thing. And if that works for you, great. No one's saying change up your routine, but at the same time, many people are afraid of change. Many people are afraid of variety, and sometimes that variety can put you in different situations that will benefit you, but you will never know because you're too stuck on your same routine every single time. Change it up every now and then. See what works. See what works better for you. See what you don't like, But if you're so fixated on just this single routine every single time, I mean, you're not really giving yourself a chance to grow. Routines are meant to be broken, by the way, and substituted for a new one. So keep that in mind. Routines are meant to be broken, man. Routines are meant to be broken, changed up, substituted. Like you can change your whole routine up, but you got to give yourself a chance to. All right, man. Let's move on to the next article. I think that's the last one, right? I think we got one more actually. Oh, okay, here we go. So this is a blast from the past. We got here fast food menu prices from the early 2000s, man. So this says POV, you pulled up to the drive-through when $1 actually meant $1. Yeah, I remember those days. Big Macs under $3, McChickens for $1, and a coffee under $1. Take us back. Yeah, man, the good old days. Let's take a look. Oh my goodness, In-N-Out Burger, man. The double double was 285, bro. Cheeseburger 190. Oh my goodness, milk was 88 cents. Lemonade was $1. A shake was 175. McDonald's, as you can see, $1. Big Mac, Wendy's, same thing. Chipotle at its peak. Chicken bowl, you can get a whole chicken bowl for about $7 to $8. You ain't getting that no more. Taco Bell, even though I was never a big fan of Taco Bell. I mean, they had some good things here and there. They had some good chalupas. I'll say that. But yeah, man, this is the golden era, man. But these days are not coming back, man. Unfortunately, it's not coming back. Um, it is what it is, man. Inflation is at an all-time high. Fast food prices are just as expensive as grocery prices. So these days it's not coming back, man. And the food quality is worse, by the way, too. Now they're using processed food in the food, all these ingredients. So um the good old days, man. The good old days. But unfortunately it's not coming back. Um these are today's prices. They're not changing. So either you have to either make more money or eat at home. Because eating fast food in 2026 is not it, man. It's not it. So, but anyway, man, that was the Fit Report. All right. Shout out to everybody tapping in. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, get my free 7-day fat loss guide. If you guys have not already, you guys can go to winnersdietclub.com and get that. All right. All right, let's move on to the second segment. We got the Fit Report. I mean, excuse me. We have What the Fitness. So let's get to the first article. Let me actually start to cancel some of these out real quick. All right, so we got the first video here in What the Fitness. What do we have here? All right, this guy says going to the gym for years and looking the same isn't discipline. It's proof your plan is broken. Let me refresh this real quick. All right, so let's take a look at what he has to say.
Very heavy. They work out all the time, but there's no change to their physique. Just looks the same. And they've been working out for like over like I see these same people sometimes in the gym for like I've been going for a year and a half. And like where I've seen progress, I don't see no progress with them. I don't see like them adding no muscle, no definition, no nothing. It just looks they look the same as the day that I first seen them work out.
That's crazy because I see it too. And I'm like, bro, you're doing just as much as me. Like, why is there no change?
They look very heavy. They work out all the time, but
yeah, this is common, man. This is a common thing. This is a common thing with many people, right? It's very common to see people that are in the gym for a year, working out hard, lifting heavy. You would think they're training for a combine, but you see them and there's no change. They look the same. The belly is still there. There's not much muscle definition. Body fat is still high. And one might wonder, like, how can this person be working out this hard for a whole year and he's doing all this, doing his cardio, but they have not changed physically? There's no, their body composition is still the same. How is that possible? I'll tell you how. The reason they have not changed and the reason why they will never change until they fix this one thing, it's the food, it's the nutrition, it's the diet, it's what they're putting in their body after the fact, right? So you can go to the gym, man, and work out 2, 3, 4, 5 times a week, do your cardio, hit the sauna. But if you're not changing this one thing, if you're not fixing the main thing, which is the nutrition part, you're wasting your time. Now, if your goal is to stay relatively healthy, somewhat in shape, then cool. Yeah, you can do that. You can eat what you want and still work out, but you'll never get to the shape that you want. You'll never have the body composition that you want, right? You'll never be if your goal is to see your abs, that'll never happen. So yeah, you might be in physical shape as far as you're able to lift heavy, right? So you're able to be in physical shape, being able to lift heavy and do push-ups, cool. You'll have that level of physical strength, but when it comes to body composition, when it comes to lean muscle mass, when it comes to a low body fat, when it comes when it comes to a low body fat percentage, it's not going to be there because you haven't addressed the main component in this whole situation, which is your nutrition. You can't eat like shit and expect to look like someone that is working out 4 or 5 times a week, shredded. It doesn't work that way, you know. But people, I don't think people just tend. I don't think people tend to grasp this concept for some reason. They think they can just go to the gym, do whatever they want, and then come home and eat like shit. I don't understand it. I don't understand where they get this logic from. I don't understand who told them this because they might see someone that says, "Yeah, I eat whatever I want and I work out 4 or 5 times a week." But then you look at their body and they look like shit. So this is not an accurate representation of someone that you should be listening to. Or if they do say this, they're taking PEDs. So like we have to stop listening to what other people are saying. You can do this and still do this, you can do that and do, like, you have to stick with science, bro. Everything that I say when it comes to fitness and health is always going to be backed by science. Nothing I'm saying when it comes to health and fitness, in regards to health and fitness, is me giving my opinion. It's always going to be backed by scientific data. It's always going to be backed by biology. So this is not something that I'm just coming out and saying. No, bro, this is proven. This is documented. So if you're too ignorant to understand this, then keep doing what you're doing. But you got to have a good plan, man. Having a good plan is not enough. Having a good workout plan is not enough. You got to take care of the nutrition side as well. Your nutrition has to be on point. You have to know the amount of protein you need. You got to know the amount of calories you need per day to either lose, maintain, or gain weight if that's your goal. These are very important things you have to realize. Otherwise, you're going to be in the same cycle over and over again. Same cycle. So, yeah, man. That's how it be. All right, let's move on to the next video here. What do we got here? What do we got here? All right, we got this guy again. So he says walking through Costco, judging everyone's cart to physique ratio.
I don't want to ruin your willpower.
I'll take the music off. Shout out to Costco, by the way. Yeah, man. It's funny, man, because whenever I go to the store, whenever I go to Costco, um, you really see, man, like you really see who's the reason why certain people are built the way they are. You really see it in their shopping cart. Like when you go to the grocery store, when you go to Costco or Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, and you look in their basket, you be a peeping Tom, and you see what they got in there, and then you look back at them and you wonder, and then you realize, okay, this is why this person is shaped the way they are. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's proven, man. Like what you eat really will define how you look. It's that simple. Um, you are what you eat. That the old saying, that old saying, you are what you eat. That is the truest statement. You are what you eat. So you have to be mindful, man. You have to be mindful. Um, you have to be calculated as to what you're putting in your body daily. And we're not saying this to shame you. We're not saying this to make you feel bad. But if your goal is to get back in shape, if your goal is to look better, well, this is the first place that needs to be addressed, right? We can't skip over this part. I'm not going to be the one to be like, yeah, man, just don't worry about that. Just eat what you want to eat. Nah, we can't do that. We can't do that, man. So the next time you go to the next time you go to your next grocery shopping, be mindful of what you put in your cart, man. Because you might have someone like me walking around and judging you, right? If I'm in the store and you're in the store, I'm gonna be looking as to what is in your shopping cart. That's what I want to know. Especially if your goal is to get back in shape, I'm gonna be looking in your shopping cart. What is in there? Is there eggs in there? Is there protein in there? Is there fruits and vegetables? Are there lean cuts of meat? Like what's in your shopping cart? I better not see potato chips. I better not see goddamn fruit roll-ups. I better not see goddamn Oreo cookies and Starburst. I better not see any of that shit. No food dyes. No fruit by the what's that one joint where you roll it out? No Pop Tarts. I better not see no damn Pop Tarts in there. Like, nah, man. Like, if you want to take yourself serious, if you want to change, then it starts with the diet. You got to take that diet serious. Don't go to the store and just put anything in your shopping cart. Right? Don't go to the store and put anything in your shopping cart. Get what you need, not what you want. And don't go to any grocery store if you're hungry. That's the worst thing you can do. Do not go grocery shopping if you are hungry. Don't do it. Because at that point, you're just going to make bad decisions. Putting this in there, putting that in there. You're not going to eat that all in one sitting. So it's going to be in your pantry. It's going to be in your fridge, right? It's going to be in your fridge. It's going to be in your freezer. Things that you have no business eating. But because you were hungry and you saw it, oh, let me put this in here. Let me put that in here. Now it's in your fridge. Now you're going to be eating. Now you're going to be picking at it every other day. Now it's at your disposal. So this is how y'all get caught up, man. Don't get caught up in that. So when you go grocery when you grow when you go grocery shopping, goddamn, can't speak today. When you go grocery shopping, be mindful of what you put in your cart. Food pyramid. Always rely back on the food pyramid, man. Macronutrients, proteins, complex carbohydrates, healthy fats, fruits and vegetables. These are all things that make your body the body that you want on top of a good workout routine. It's all science, man. It's all science. All right. Let's move on. I think this is the last video here before we get to the main events. All right. So we got this guy. This guy funny looking. Okay, so this guy says, stop saying we're gonna die anyway as an excuse to not improve your lifestyle and nutrition. All right, let's take a look at what he has to say.
Healthy spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend, and you know that being sexually active is important, and it is to strengthen the bond, you have to stop living irresponsibly. My main thing for sharing the information on health and wellness is not to police anyone's life. It's to remind you that there's something bigger than you. It's to remind you that if you don't live a certain way, you can't live a certain way. So it's about the implications of not doing so. If you don't have health insurance, you can't just eat and live anyway. If your insurance is minimum, where your co-pays are high, you don't have dental, you don't have that, you above all people should be more focused on your lifestyle, the things that you put in your body, the things that you eat, the way that you live. So wellness and vitality, it's all about the implications, how your life is impacted when you don't live a certain way. You don't have to live perfect, but you do have to live responsibly if you can, especially if you have children. You want to make memories with those children. You want to be active with those children, especially if you're in a relationship. You don't want your legs cut off prematurely. You don't want to not have erections and get bone rock prematurely. You don't want to have different vaginal conditions. You don't want to have unnecessary blood sugar conditions, high blood pressure, heart failure, if it's just a matter of you changing something that you can change instead of saying you're going to die anyway. We all know these basic things, but it's the implications. You've got other people that are impacted by the way that you live. So it's not that I want to police or tell anybody how to live, like people often say. It's not that. It's that I'm trying to look out for you. It's the implications, the things that you're going to have to live with when you are prematurely, you come down with something that you didn't anticipate because of the way that you were living that you potentially could have avoided.
All right, that's enough of that. Um, that is absolute facts. Because the people that say, "Oh, I'm gonna eat what I want because we're gonna die anyway," that might be the most ass backwards logic I've ever heard in my life. Like seriously, that might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. So does that mean you don't have health insurance? Does that mean you don't wear a seatbelt in your car? Right? Like this is the logic that people have. And they think they're saying something smart because this is a loser mentality. This is a loser mentality, right? Well, we gonna die anyway, so let's just eat our lives away. It doesn't matter. Forget all that working out stuff. You know that workout shit. It don't mean nothing. We gonna die anyway. Just crazy, crazy logic, man. But people want to be selective with what they choose is beneficial to them. So you don't want to work out, you don't want to eat clean, but yet, everything else you have safety precautions for. Doesn't make any sense, you know? And it's just another excuse for them to live poorly, right? It gives them an out. It gives them a lack of accountability, right? So there's no accountability there. Um, there's no responsibility there, right? And this is just a recipe for losers. This is the recipe for losers. When you don't have accountability, when you're looking at life like, you know, it's going to end one day anyway, so let me just destroy my life in the process. So let me get this straight. Yes, and they're right. We're all going to die, right? No one's going to be here forever except me. But no one's going to be here forever. So does that mean you suffer in the process? Like, would you rather be healthy and pass on smoothly, right? Without any crazy complications, God willing, you die in your sleep? Or would you rather be attached to a hospital bed with fucking tubes coming out of your mouth, you know, on life support, breathing out of a ventilator? Like, is that the type of life that you want to have? Because you have this YOLO mentality, because you have this we're all gonna die anyway mentality. So would you rather? You're telling me. So you're telling me you rather suffer in the process than be healthy and transition on smoothly. You see how dumb this sounds? You see the logic in how certain people think, and then you wonder why they are in the situations that they are. You wonder why they look how they look. You wonder why their life is in shambles. Their mindset is so fucked up. They can't even think straight. They can't even see life on a different side. They're so imagine being so stuck in your ways. Imagine being so ignorant that you can't see life on a that you can't see life in a different lens because your ignorance is blinding you. Your ignorance is not allowing you to see life in a different view. So this is loser thinking, man. This is not winner's diet mentality thinking. And for me, I'm very big on being around people that are pushing you to do better. I'm very big around being I'm very big on being around people that are pushing you to think different, and challenging you to think different, right? That's one thing that people that have a losing mindset don't have. They don't have people that challenge them. And if they do have that, they get away from them because they understand, you know, it hurts to think differently. It hurts to challenge themselves to think in uh a different view, right? It hurts. It hurts to look at life in a different lens. So um yeah, man, I always scratch my head when I hear people that say this type of nonsense. It's crazy to me, but you really have people out here that think like this, and um, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. There's not much you can do about it. These people are going to lose for the rest of their lives unless they change. And it's not my job to change them, bro. It really isn't. So it is what it is, man. All right, man. Let's get to the main event. Shout out to everybody in here. We're at the 50-minute mark. Let's get to it. So today, man, we're talking about why fitness intimidates people. I've said this before. I've said this again. Um, Look, man, being fit is not about having nice muscles and having washboard abs and a nice physique. It represents more than that. It represents your discipline. It represents your consistency. It represents accountability, right? It represents everything that people are not doing. Basically, it represents everything people are not doing. It represents everything the average person is not doing. So it's gonna, excuse me. So it's gonna expose their excuses. It's going to expose their lack of accountability, right? And a lot of them are not ready to face that. A lot of people are not ready to face that level of truth, which is why they run from it. And this is why seeing or being around fit people as someone that's not fit is very intimidating, because everything that they're not, they're seeing in real time, and it makes them uncomfortable. So, it is what it is, man. And I don't know if you guys are people that are fit, right? If you are fit and you go around people that are not fit, they're going to act very different around you, right? They're going to act very different. Um, they're either going to admire you or hate, one or two. It happens a lot. They're going to try to bring you down sometimes and make you think that, oh, all this working out isn't going to do nothing. All that working out isn't going to stop no bullets. Like, they're going to say dumb, retarded nigga shit like that. But this is what happens when people are intimidated by you, man. Though, so if this happens to you, just know that you're doing everything right. And when it comes to, you know what, let's go ahead and play this video right quick before I get into it. I want to play this video real quick that I saw online. All right, so we got him 500 talks about being fat was a superpower.
That was a superpower. It made people comfortable with me, less threatening being fat. And I seen that, you know what, people are super comfortable and relaxed and okay with me because I'm fat. Come across easier going, more trustworthy. It's like, if you pay attention to it, it's like, yo, it's just like, oh man, this is a good guy. And I realized that. And so I really wasn't too bad about operating in that space. I seen the benefit and I milked it. Being fat was a superpower.
Yeah. I mean, that's not the whole reason. I mean, you were also making money, so that plays a role in that. But he said something that was very interesting, right? Being fat, being overweight, being out of shape, it does make people more comfortable with you, in a sense that he's less threatening, he's less intimidating. We can be more of ourselves around him because because that person represents everything that they are. They might not be it to that extent, right? They may not have let themselves go to that extent, but when we talk about being overweight and being out of shape, it's more than just, over consuming calories. It's more of your lack of discipline. It's more of your lack of self-control. It's more of the fact that you really don't have your life together. If we're being honest, I don't care how much money you're making. If you're out of shape, if you're overweight, if you're 20, 30 pounds overweight, you don't have your life together. In my opinion, you can fight me on that. You can debate me on that, but I would argue that you don't have your life together, because in that point, you're playing with your health. You're playing Russian roulette with your health. At any point, your body can break down. And all that money that you went out to go get and hustled years for, it don't mean a fucking thing. It doesn't matter anymore. All that money doesn't matter no more. All the trips don't matter no more. All the nights out don't matter no more. That car that you got in the driveway, that shit don't matter no more. So what are we talking about here, right? So you tell me, Does that mean is that having your life together? So when we look at people like this, right? When we look at people like this and analyze people like this, most people would rather you not be in shape and be just like them than you being fit, disciplined, having a standard, having a routine, having structure. Most people don't like seeing that because it kind of just screams everything that they're not, right? Or it screams everything that they want to be, but sometimes whatever limitation is holding them back, right, is telling them that you will never get there. Whatever limited beliefs that they have, whatever, so whoever is in their ear is telling them they can't get there, right? So you being in shape, you having a fit body is basically, it's basically telling them they can't get there or they won't get there, or that at this point in your life, I'm better than you, which is not the case, but this is how they look at it. This is how they view you. Oh, he think he better than me because he in shape. No, that's not always the case. Sometimes it is, but not always, not all the time, right? A lot of times that's just insecurity. That's just insecurity. Because the same body that he has, you can go get. You can go get that same body that he got or she got. You can go get that body too in your own way, right? Because everybody's not going to be the same, but you can get the same body or the version of that for you. But it just comes down to consistency and discipline. That's it. All you got to be is consistent, discipline. But that is the X factor to a majority of people. You know what I mean? And one thing, and even though they like you better when you're out of shape and overweight, right? They might be nicer to you, right? But at the same time, that doesn't mean they respect you. So you can have all this, people are nice to me. They're, I'm friend. They're friendlier, but it doesn't mean that they respect you. Don't equate that to respect, because it's not. Nobody really respects someone that is heavily out of shape, heavily overweight. They don't. I'm telling you, from people that I've been around, they don't respect this, which is why it's critical on how you guys present yourself. It's critical on how you present yourself to the world. So this is just what it is, man. And you can change this, man. You can change this. This is not something that is permanent, right? You just got to develop discipline, man. And that just comes with you wanting to change in the first place. If you want to change, then it's going to happen, because you're going to do everything that you can to get there. So fitness will always be intimidating to people, which is why most people don't last in a gym. Like, think about it right now. How many people had New Year's resolutions? Either they were coming back to the gym or it was their first time going to the gym. And now you're in a gym around all these fit people, all these people that know what they're doing. It's intimidating, right? You're nervous. You don't know what to do. You feel like people are watching you. You know what I mean? And this is where most people fall off. The average gym goer really, what is it? What was the average gym goer? I think 80% of people that sign up for a gym for the first time stop going within the first 30 days. This is intimidation. Most of that comes from intimidation. But you don't give yourself a chance to even try, because you don't know what you're doing, because you don't have a real plan, And two, you're too focused on everybody else, what everybody else got going on. Don't worry about what everybody else got going on. Worry about you. You're the reason you're in there, to get right, to get better. You know? So just understand that, man. And intimidation, if you're on the receiving end of the intimidation, if people are intimidated by you, this is a good sign. This means that your habits are working. This means that you're no longer excuse me. This means that you're no longer blending in with everybody else. I always talk about, you never want to be like everybody else. Always find different ways to stand out. You know, because everybody else is fat, broke, out of shape, depressed, miserable. So why would I want to be like everybody else? Why would you want to be like everybody else? You know? So it just shows you, man, in real time that this can be possible. You can get here too. And I wish that people that were intimidated by fit people would see it this way. It just means that it's possible. It doesn't matter if you have a 9 to 5. It doesn't matter if you work 12 hours a day. You can still get in shape. I'm telling you, it's possible. I've trained people like this. I've been in these situations. Like, I'm telling you, it's possible. Just because you have a 9 to 5 doesn't mean you can't get in shape. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. But that's a narrative for lazy people that want to push their lazy narrative, that want to push their lazy mindset and their loser mindset onto you because they can't get it done. It's possible. Shout out to everybody that works 9 to 5. Shout out to everybody that works full time, that's still working hard, that's still getting up every day, either before or after, putting in that work. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. You're beating the odds. You're not accepting mediocrity. You're not accepting being like the average person who is fat, broke, and depressed. Shout out to you. That is a very difficult thing to do, man. And if you're doing that 4 or 5 days a week, salute to you. Keep doing what you're doing. All right, man. Shout out to everybody in here. Great show today. I got to get going, but make sure you guys follow us on winnersdietclub.com, Winners Diet Club on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Follow my main page, Project Mac. Great show today. Great show. Way to start off the week with the live streaming. We'll see you guys again on Friday, man. So you guys have a great rest of your night. I'll see you soon. Peace.